Time now for the morning rush. Albuquerque coaches plan to sue the New Mexico Public Education Department. Stephen Archibek is the head volleyball coach at La Cueva High School. Now he is asking the state to split the hybrid learning and athletics so students can play again. A GoFundMe page has been created to help pay for the legal fees. The PED has not responded yet to the upcoming lawsuit.
The Albuquerque Public School District is asking the state to separate sports and the hybrid learning model as well. High school athletics can only happen if a school has some in-person learning. The APS school board says it wrote a letter to the governor asking that the entities be separated. The PED says they've received about 320 emails from people supporting athletics standing alone.
The state is now looking into how some teachers have been able to get vaccinated ahead of schedule. One APS teacher says that she called the neighborhood Walmart at Manal and Juan Tabo and scheduled both doses of the vaccine. The Department of Health says the providers may give the vaccine out if it's almost expired or if they're unable to fill appointments. Erica.
And we are going to see our next big weather maker arriving tomorrow. It's going to start bringing some light snow showers to the northern mountains by around 5 p.m. That snow spreads in through the northeast highlands and Sangre de Cristo Mountains through Thursday morning's commute and by midday, eventually coming to an end. Now, mostly we're looking at just a couple inches of snow possible during that time.
Another Boeing plane is out of service this morning after having engine issues. Yesterday, we told you about a Boeing 777 jet with an engine that caught fire leaving the Denver airport. Yesterday, engine problems forced a Boeing plane en route from Seattle to Atlanta to land in Salt Lake City. Luckily, there were no injuries.
New this morning, a driver is recovering after rolling over a wall and falling off the I-25 bridge over the river. This was just south of the river near Isleta yesterday evening. There's no word on how the car fell over the wall. The driver was taken to the hospital for treatment.
As COVID cases stay low, the state is easing up on restrictions like visitations at hospitals. The changes include longer visiting hours, and in some cases, more than one person will be allowed inside the patient's room. This is for non-COVID patients. People are advised to check with hospitals for their visitation rules, as they could vary.
UNM Hospital says those who've had COVID-19 should still get the vaccine. Dr. Rohini McKee with UNM Hospital says that if you contract COVID, you do develop antibodies. However, she says it's still unclear as to how long those antibodies remain in the system. Current studies suggest that immunity lasts about 6 to 12 months.
2 more public school employees from Las Cruces died from COVID-19. Since November, Stephen staffers died from the virus. The most recent, 33-year-old Chris Sarmiento, a teacher and football coach at Vista Middle School. Also 58-year-old Beatrice Ramirez, a lunch lady at Valley View Elementary. Neither one had been working in school buildings.
And your Metro Threat Index today is low. We will have some chilly temperatures as you're walking out the door this morning, below freezing, and a light breeze this afternoon. Otherwise, sunshine and warmer temperatures.
State lawmakers will hear a bill looking to honor fallen officers. House Bill 275 would create a highway sign known as a fallen officer sign. The goal is to commemorate officers killed in the line of duty. NMDOT would be in charge of accepting donations for the signs and installing them. The bill is scheduled to be heard this morning.
Las Cruces public schools are moving into hybrid learning. Staff are encouraging the social distancing in the hallways and taking students' temperatures. Well, the district says 80% of those students chose to stay remote. Elementary and middle schools will start phasing in hybrid learning starting next Monday.
Now to the Roundhouse, where a bill aimed at helping small businesses recover is headed to the House floor. Senate Bill 3 cleared the House Taxation and Revenue Committee yesterday. The bill would provide more than $460 million in low-interest relief loans. It would also make it easier for businesses to receive up to $75,000.
Meanwhile, the state budget is moving on to the next level in the Roundhouse. The House Budget Committee endorsed a plan that increases the general fund spending by $332 million. That's a 4.6% jump from last fiscal year. Now, that includes more funding on health care, public education, and a small pay raise for state employees and educators. The budget will now head to the House floor for a vote.
APS students will now be able to be identified by their preferred name instead of their legal name. Previously, students and parents would have to inform teachers and staff if they did not go by their legal name. Now, a parent can just change their child's name on file. A student's legal name will still be used on official documents and reports.
Looking ahead, Albuquerque City Councilor Don Harris will not be on the ballot again this year. For 16 years, he has served the far southeast Heights and foothills. He says he will not seek a 5th term because he wants to focus on building his business and family. The election cycle for mayor and city council seats begin on March 1st.
And here's a look at that morning drive. As you're heading out the door, there are no crashes or slowdowns for the morning commute. And we're looking clear out there.
Researchers say they've made a battery that charges itself by using your body heat. The device then converts body heat into natural energy that can power wearable devices. It can be worn as a ring or a bracelet. So far, it can only create enough energy to power most watches or even fitness trackers.
On this day, February 23rd of 2005, not too long ago, but two supercells moved over Eddy County in the southeast plains, dropping quarter to golf ball sized hail in Carlsbad. So severe weather on this day back 15 years ago.
Time now for the 5 facts. At number 5, there's something good in every day. Well, that's the motto from a Colorado woman who was inside this Jeep when it fell down the 200 feet off the side of a mountain. 24-year-old Susie Rhodes was out celebrating her anniversary with her boyfriend. That's when their parked Jeep began to slide down a road that they had stopped on. That's when the Jeep rolled down again, and with her tumbling around inside before being ejected, she is now paralyzed from the waist down, but says that her life is just beginning. There's now a GoFundMe page to help with her recovery.
Number 4 now, some good news. Long-term care facilities in New Mexico are reporting a decline in the number of COVID cases and deaths. On Sunday, there were 0 new COVID-19 cases or deaths reported in any of these facilities, a major decline from just a few months ago. All 309 state long-term care facilities had their first vaccine clinic last month. Officials say about 97% of New Mexico's nursing home and alternative living facility residents have taken the vaccine. Staff is about 70%.
And at number 3, we're expecting more strong wind on the east side of the state. Wind advisories will go into effect for eastern New Mexico at 10 a.m., lasting all the way through 7 p.m. We'll see maximum wind gusts up to around 50 miles per hour.
And number 2 now, this morning state lawmakers are set to hear a bill looking to honor fallen officers. House Bill 275 is asking to create a highway sign known as a fallen officer sign. The goal is to commemorate law enforcement officers killed in the line of duty. NMDOT would be in charge of accepting the donations for the signs, then installing them near the site where the officer died. The bill is scheduled to be heard in the House committee today. We'll follow it for you right here on KRQE.
And at number 1 this morning, Albuquerque coaches are heading an effort to sue the state's public education department in federal court. La Cueva's head volleyball coach, Stephen Archibek, is asking the state to split hybrid learning and athletics so that student athletes can compete. A GoFundMe page is now set up to help pay for the legal fees. So far, they have raised almost $2,000 out of their $30,000 goal. APS is also reaching out to the PED, asking the state to separate sports and the hybrid learning model. The PED has yet to comment.